Aggravated Arson NJ 2C17-1, paragraph A and paragraph D. Aggravated arson is an extremely serious offense. It's on the par of murder, actually, very close. And it involves the crime of starting a fire or causes an explosion on property, real property, whether it's your property or property of another. And there are 5 enumerated fact patterns on which you can cause a second-degree arson, punishable by, if convicted, a fine of up to $150,000 per count, jail, minimum 5 years, maximum 10 years, presumption of incarceration for not less than 5 years, and a criminal felony record per count. Okay? So the first way is you're starting a fire on purpose, is you purposely or knowingly placing another person in danger of death or bodily injury. So, you're burning down a building knowing that somebody could be in it and they're going to die or could die. The second way, with purpose of destroying a building or structure of another. You don't like your neighbor's barn. You're fed up with all the animals that keep coming onto your property. You decide you're going to burn it down. That's second-degree arson. 3, with purpose of collecting insurance for the destruction or damage to such property under circumstances with which recklessly place any other person in danger of death or bodily injury. Example, you rent a building to someone to live in, but that building has become way more expensive to own and operate than the rents you're receiving make it worthwhile. So you decide you're going to build the building, burn the building down, and you do without regard to the fact that there are people living in it and they might die, or if they do die, that's another additional offense of felony murder or some kind of reckless black-hearted murder. But just the idea that somebody could die in there because you burnt the building down is second-degree arson. Okay, the fourth way would be to avoid any governmental imposed zoning ordinance or building ordinance or statute law which requires certain conduct on your part that you don't want to deal with. For example, suppose you own a very old barn and you've been ordered to fix it up because it's falling apart, but not only that, on top of it, it's a historical district building, so you can't tear it down, you can't sell it, you can't use it, you just are ordered to put hundreds of thousands of dollars into it. You torch that on purpose, and that is a second-degree crime. And of course, the fifth way is with purpose of destroying or damaging any forest. So suppose you live in the Pine Barrens, you've got a house, but all around the house is all this terrible brush and trees you don't want. So you deliberately start a fire to get rid of that, but you could risk burning the rest of the Pine Barrens down. That's going to be a second-degree crime. Now, as if that isn't serious enough, there is one way in which this can be a first-degree crime, which is punishable by a fine of at least $200,000 per count, jail up to 20 years per count, presumption of incarceration, and certainly not less than 10 years per count, minimum, and of course a serious felony criminal record. And that would be under a paragraph, let's see, that would be C-D, paragraph D of 12-3. No, take that back, of 17-1. And that is any person who accepts money or pays money to have a property deliberately burnt down, in which there is a risk of somebody dying as a result of that, commits a first-degree felony. Very, very, very serious. So, my name is Stephen Aggravated. I have handled 2 of these in my career. If you're charged with this, it's very serious, and what's more important is there are downgrades to getting arson reduced to a situation where you might not do any jail, or if you do, it would be it would be minor in comparison to a second degree or a first degree. And in a subsequent video, I will explore Section B of the statute, which is arson and not aggravated arson. It's less serious. It's a third degree event. But again, my name is Stephen Aggravated. My telephone number is 732 888-337-7922. And if you've been charged with arson or you know someone who has, it's extremely serious. If you contact me, I can likely help you. Thank you, and have a nice day.